Hi everyone! So today I am taking care of some Civil War veterans' graves. This is a rare opportunity to help out at this cemetery. We've been granted permission, so I am really excited to dive in and honor our great Civil War heroes. So if you want to follow along, let's go. William Wallace Shapley was born in Carlisle, Pennsylvania in 1843, the son of Rufus and Susan Shapley and the younger brother of Rufus Shapley Jr. He was educated locally and entered into Carlisle's Dickinson College with the class of 1863. Shapley served with the 7th Infantry in Florida between 1865 and 1869, before it was reassigned to Fort Shaw in the Montana Territory in the spring of 1870. Conditions were difficult for infantry, and Shapley, according to his fellow officers, had become quite stout and was suffering increasing epileptic attacks. On a particularly difficult march into the Wind River country, Shapley suffered a brain seizure near Silver Star, Montana, and died in the early morning of August 12, 1870. He was buried in a lonely spot on the march near the Fish Creek Post Office, close to the road of the stagecoach line. The nearest railway was then 400 miles away. His family wasn't going to leave his body on that lonely roadside. A month had passed, but they were not going to give up on him. They sent for his body, and after a 6-day journey, he was laid to rest in Carlisle's Ashland Cemetery. He also has this really great gar marker that was hand painted at some point. I would like to come back and put some gold on the lettering and the stars. I think that'd be really nice for him. The wall needs a lot of care as well. There's a lot of lichen growing on this. So I'm gonna see what we can do about this. We don't have much time to take care of this grave, but we're gonna do what we can in the time we have. So I found a forgotten World War II veteran, and I can't leave today without taking care of him. So Ethan's gonna go ahead and get some water on him, and I'm gonna scrub him off. I think we're gonna need a little bit more water on that. Maybe let it sit for a couple minutes.
You want to grab a scraper?
We're gonna need a scraper for sure.
I'll go grab a scraper.
All right. So the D2 is starting to work. It's starting to turn this rusty color. Here soon it'll be ready to rinse. All right, so Ethan is spraying the top of the statue with the wet and forget because we cannot get up there, and that statue has so many fine details. Like, it needs someone to get up there on a much taller ladder with a fine brush, but we just are not prepared for that today. So wet and forget for the rescue. We're just gonna drench it and hope that it does its job, and then by the end of the summer should be nice and white. It may need a couple little touch-ups, but it's gonna make such a difference for this monument. I'm really excited to see how it turns out. There we go, now you're getting her face. There's so much stuff stuck on her, but like I said, there's just no way to reach it.
If you are interested in cleaning headstones as well, here's a couple things that I recommend you use and a couple things I don't recommend you use. So first off, you want to always clean your headstones with D2 biological solution. You can buy these by the gallon at preservationsupplycompany.com. I'm not affiliated with them, it's just where I buy them. It's not cheap, but it's the best thing to use, and it's the only thing really approved by the National Park Service and Arlington National Cemetery. I also like to use wet and forget outdoor. It's basically the poor man's version of D2 solution. It works just as well, it just takes a little bit longer, and it doesn't hurt the stones or affect them in any negative way. Never use bleach or power tools when cleaning the stone. I see a lot of people use water and bleach, and what it will do is it will get into the pores of the stone, and it'll eventually start what we call sugaring the stone, which is basically just flaking it off and making it really rough and hard to read over time. It destroys stones. It's the biggest killer of stones I've ever seen. Never use bleach or vinegar or any other household products on these stones. Only use D2 biological solution or wet and forget. Another thing you'd like to probably have on you is a 1 gallon pump sprayer. You can fill this up with water, or if you have another one, you can fill it up with D2. And this just helps rinse the stone really easy, and it's much better than sitting there trying to spray the spray bottle. For brushes, you can use a simple brush like this lemon brush here. You can get them at Walmart for a couple bucks, or you can get another brush. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but you can also buy this at Cemetery Preservation Supply Company. It's more of a natural hair brush. As long as you don't use any wire brushes, you should be good. Try to pick a brush that is not completely really rough. You want to make sure it's nice and soft so it's not damaging the stone, especially if you're working with polished granite. Another thing is, if you have a lot of moss on your stone, have a little plastic scraper. These plastic scrapers are perfectly fine to use on older marble. They will not hurt it, and it helps get some of the moss off of these stones. It's very easy to use these, and I highly recommend them, especially if you have a lot of moss on your stones. So these are some of the very basic supplies. Once you get into more advanced stuff, I'd stay away from that until you get more experience. But for the most part, if you want to get started with basic headstone cleaning, this is all you need. And if you watch some of our videos, you'll eventually learn how to get the hang of this yourself. It's really easy, fun, and it's really helpful to help remember these men that died so long ago.
So you just saw a gravestone that Ethan's actually working on right now, and I am going to post an after, but I highly recommend you check out his reels on Instagram. He did a tutorial on how to clean gravestones, and this is the stone that he used as an example. All right, Ethan, so if they want to follow along your gravestone restoration adventures, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Stone and Standard. This is where I take care of a lot of gravestones. I don't have a lot posted on there now because the gravestone season just started, but you can find all sorts of artifacts from battlefields, battlefield photography I do. So if you're interested in that and learning more about headstone cleaning and more about the soldiers themselves, you can head over to there. I try to keep it updated at least once a week, but I think it's something you'll enjoy if you like the Civil War. Now this next step is completely unnecessary, but it's fun. Rinsing. If you rinse some of this off, you'll start to see not immediate results, but you'll see better results than just leaving it. You can absolutely just leave the D2 on the headstone. Even rinsing it off, there will still be D2 worked into the stone itself, so it'll continue working even after you rinse. It's just fun to do and gets most of this gunk off of it. And once the sun dries it up a little bit, it'll start to brighten up, and then you just let nature take its course. Wait a couple months and you'll have a nice clean looking headstone.
So it is 24 hours after our first attempt at cleaning the Shapely monument here, and you can tell there are some changes going on. The monument hasn't brightened up yet, but it's starting to turn yellow, and the nice thing is that it's getting a lot of sun. So I do foresee this turning out really good, especially after we get a nice heavy rain, which may be in the forecast for the next couple of days. I wish we could get up there at the top. Getting the face of the statue is going to be a little difficult, but you can tell that the statue is also starting to develop. It was sprayed with wet and forget, so that way we wouldn't have to worry about getting up there. And I'm hoping that will fall off after a heavy rain. It'll probably need another application here in a couple of weeks. Thank you for watching this episode of Unearthing Together. And thank you to the Pennsylvania Reserve Corps Historic Society. If you would like to support our shared mission of making sure that these men are never forgotten, check out their website and social media links, which I will have in the video description down below. And if you're not already, please subscribe to our channel. There is so much history out there waiting to be unearthed. What story will we have for you next? You'll have to watch and find out.